Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it to make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. Hey, we're also up there on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. I gave a shout out to our new Patreon friendos over on our AEW review, which is up right now. However, if you're not a fan of AEW, if you're not watching it for whatever reason,
or just like NXT a little bit more, you want to watch this one first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do more shout outs, or I'll do those same shout outs right now because it doesn't really take that much time, and we appreciate our patrons. Jesse Lucas, Zero Cochran, The Glorious Broken Soundwave, Travis Gilpin, Derek Rice Jr., Enrique, Eric's Doter, Ricky Scurvy is back, James Uvale, Terrence Karen, and Aaron Leonard.
Thank you all.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Cool. Everybody says that our audio.
Fantastic.
Exactly. So, yeah, in our AEW review, we sort of break down a bit more the comparisons, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, because
the inevitable comparisons.
they're on opposite each other.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to compare the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if we should go over. I'll just go over this one because this is really starting to bug, and I don't know if it's ever going to be. It's just how the show looks, how NXT looks.
It's interesting that it's such a stark difference for you because I don't really notice a big difference.
It's huge.
That's weird.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Because on the network, in terms of how the show was photographed, in terms of the frame rate of the visuals, NXT on the network didn't look different. I'm not talking scope of the venue. I'm not talking how brightly the crowd's lit, color palette. Just in terms of the motion of the action.
Yeah.
On the network, they look the same as AEW does for me. Mm. Since they moved to USA, it looks completely different. Mm. It's obviously 60 frames, but since I don't watch stuff in 60 frames, because for anything other than sports, it bothers me.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm watching a soap opera.
Yeah.
It looks like on a DSLR if you shoot it at a 720 instead of 1080, because it automatically goes to 60 frames, at least on the old DSLRs.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And
I'll
have
to check it out on my because I have it recorded on my Xfinity DVR. I'll have to watch it on the big screen and see if I can get what you're saying. I wonder if anybody else has that issue. I don't have that issue. I thought NXT was fun last night, although I do suspect that we saw some evidence. Number one, do we know if 205 is actually canceled or is it?
No,
we don't
know anything.
We don't know anything.
They probably don't even know.
Okay. I did think that the Lio Rush title win was perhaps, and granted it's the 205 title, and I think that's sort of, if you're going to sacrifice anything, you're going to sacrifice that, unless Drew's going to get drafted to Raw or SmackDown. That's a possibility.
I thought that too, considering what happened after the match, that he might be on his way up from 205.
Yeah.
Because that's not in Drew's character to do something like that.
Yeah, Alex C. had mentioned he thought that maybe they're going to do a reset on 205. I don't know if that includes Drew going to Raw or SmackDown, which, by the way, is totally deserving of Drew. If it's like, hey, here's a raise, bigger spotlight, main roster, that's a reward.
Dude is one of the most versatile characters in the entire company.
Terrific.
He can do anything.
He is terrific. Anybody'd be lucky to have him.
Heck yeah, man.
So, yeah, he's terrific. I just kind of feel like we got a really terrific Roderick Strong versus Swerve Scott thing.
That was really good. It was a hell of a showing for Isaiah Scott.
Isaiah Scott, number one, is terrific.
Yeah, man.
Could you imagine if they built this show, not necessarily built the show, but if the Cruiserweight title was the main event match, and at the beginning, let's say the Lio Rush thing wasn't a thing, like he didn't win anything and blah, blah, he wasn't there, and you wanted to make a new star, I think in one episode with one match and a couple of like small backstage builds, you could have built a massive star in Isaiah Scott with one night winning that title against a guy
given his history with
history.
Drew, yeah.
Boy,
agreed.
That's a missed opportunity in my opinion.
Yeah. It did seem like a more of a matter of shock booking, having Leo win in his second match back after being gone for months.
Yeah.
And prior to that, just being almost exclusively being Bob Lashley's manager.
Yeah. I think Leo has a ton of potential. I just think that, like, why do I care? Like, there's no story. There was no story there, you know? And so, yeah, I'm kind of maybe Drew got word that he's going up to the main roster. I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. I did not see his. I know he did a post-show.
Oh, I didn't see that either.
I didn't see that.
I'd be just, based on what happened after the match, Drew usually didn't go up to his opponents, especially in defeat, shake their hands.
Yeah.
Or not shake their hand, but hand the belt, whatever. They did shake hands. Mm-hmm. That's not in Drew's character at all.
Yeah.
So just based on that, I thought it was a distinct possibility. That
Roberto has a point here, but I think there's a counter to it. He says Drew always did that in NXT after matches, though. Matt Riddle and what was the other one he had? Kushida.
Yeah, I guess so.
However, this is for the title. It feels a bit more 205 canon, but also what is 205 canon these days?
Yeah,
like,
who knows
does it even
the show
exist?
even exists anymore?
Yeah.
No, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought about him shaking hands with Matt Riddle and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the NXT Drew is a completely different character than 205 Live Drew.
It obviously Triple H is going with beyond that. I think he's sort of going. He's taking the marathon analogy to heart. There was after a big return last week with Finn Balor, nowhere to be found this week.
No, it's 2 video packages.
The video packages also highlighted something that we don't really see a whole lot of with Finn is the demon stuff, because the demon stuff is obviously very heavy in NXT. So it seems like they're going to revert to that as well.
Yeah.
They were leaning really heavily on unless they just didn't have anything prepared. And they're like, yeah, we're probably going to do the demon thing again. Let's just do this video package.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did so much of in NXT. Let's see here. Squash match. There was that. I'm just looking this thing really.
Well, the 3 main matches, the opening bout for the Cruiserweight title, Roderick Strong versus Isaiah Scott in the main event,
match.
were all really good.
Killer match.
Although I was worried when they didn't start the main event until like 8 till.
Yeah.
Because they didn't announce an overrun whatsoever.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of. And so like, oh gosh, they're really going to give this match 8 minutes?
Yeah, I just think they're going to do overruns like perpetually. That's going to be a counter programming measure.
Could be.
But no, I thought it was fun. I just didn't, AEW is just a breath of fresh air, and NXT just doing NXT. Mm-hmm. I think they're just going to settle into, okay, let's see what we can do just being us, not trying to pop anything. Let's just be us. So yeah, a quality episode, super quality episode.
Just to circle back to something I mentioned, the AEW one about the amount of video packages and specifically talking in NXT. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 backstage video package talking things on NXT. Mm-hmm. And then there was just one promo on All Elite in one video package, more or less.
Yeah.
So just felt like a lot more talking.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel like a big talky episode though. Like I felt that that
9 is not including the Velveteen Dream stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that NXT handles if the basic idea is NXT is handling their business, their storytelling outside of the ring. I just don't agree with that. Like I think
I'm not saying it's exclusively. I'm saying they do a lot more outside of the ring than AEW does. That was the point.
Yeah.
The AEW storytelling in terms of their presentation, their television presentation is almost exclusively in the ring, and then they do extra stuff with Road 2 and being the Elite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can argue about, talk whether it's good or bad.
That was the thing about the Hangman Page stuff.
No, I understand that. Yeah,
we didn't. So I didn't care because I didn't understand. Like I didn't watch Being the Elite, and if you're not watching Being the Elite, like you kind of maybe they should be doing more of that stuff on their presentation, which I'd like to see, to be honest with you. So yeah. Anyways, NXT kicked off with the Cruiserweight match. Cruiserweight title on line. Lio Rush versus Drew Gulick. And this is obviously Lio Rush doing Lio Rush stuff.
Yeah, he started out on fire too, hitting Spanish Fly pretty much instantly, a tope, and then an Acai moonsault. He gets Drew back in the ring, and Drew pretty much instantly turns the table on Lio, dumping Lio, kind of like pancakes him on his face, followed by this killer corner clothesline, and dominates kind of the middle portion of this match. There's this great spot where Lio goes for a roll-up, and Drew counters instantly and smoothly right into the rings of Saturn. It was great.
Yeah.
How crisp that was. Leo goes to the top rope. Drew kicks him off and sends him saying a toppling dab to some dude sitting in a chair against the barricade. Go to commercial. Come back. Leo's trying to fight his way back into the match. At one point, he tries for a springboard stunner. Drew catches it right into a gulak. Leo Rush kind of reverses into a roll-up, gets 2, and then Drew kicks out, and then Leo puts his own Dragon Sleeper on. But Drew knows how to escape, and he does so. At one point, Drew hits a Cyclone Crash, his finish. He just basically tosses Leo right next to the rope. So, lack of ring awareness.
Yes.
Instead of holding down the 2 buttons on the top of the controller, he goes to the pin right there.
I don't think it's that anymore, though. Or maybe,
We don't
that
know.
might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
Because Leo gets his foot on the rope.
We're not going to know until the game comes
I
out,
know.
man. We're not going to find out this week.
And so ref calls, we're not going to find out. Ref says no pin. Drew then grabs that leg that was on the ropes. By that time, Leo had come to enough, kicks out. And there's this part where they're up on the top rope, kind of brawling, jockeying for position. Rush pushes Drew off twice, and then hits a frog splash. Follows that with a springboard stunner, and then follows that with Final Hour for the win. And then William Regal comes down. He presents Leo Rush with the Cruiserweight title. Drew pushes Regal aside, takes the belt, and I think Leo says to him, "Hey, I just beat you for that belt. I beat you fair and square for that."
Yeah.
And Drew's not really saying much, and he kind of shoves it back in Leo's chest and shakes his hand.
Yeah. Villalobos here says, I hope Drew gets drafted. He'd be a fantastic opponent or partner for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a match.
Could you think of somebody better? You know how Daniel Bryan loves making stars out of people? I couldn't think of anybody better than Drew.
I know.
Oh, that could be terrific.
I know.
Boy, that could be something else.
That'd be awesome. It was a really fun match. It was good. It just felt rushed. It felt like a bit of shock booking, especially to kick off the show.
Was that a pun?
No, not intentional. Rushed.
Yeah, no.
Surprised they didn't put this match in the final hour of the show.
It's good. That's good. Me too. No, it was good. It felt like just a tad. I mean, I don't want to say it. Here's the thing. I don't want to take Drew Gulick and Leo Rush for granted because they're both terrific. I just felt like I always get a little bit more from their matches. And I hate saying that because they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
But this is for a Cruiserweight title. It opened the show. Come on, have this main event the show. But then what are you going to do? Put Kushida and Walter not in the main event? Get out of here with that. I don't know what to do. Anyways.
Yeah, no either. I don't know. No.
You got a Finn video package in lieu of Finn being there.
Yeah, we got 2 and 1 later on too.
What's going on that would prevent Finn from being there?
I mean, I think he lives in the Orlando area.
Maybe he was backstage. He was like Undertaker at SmackDown situation.
Showed up. So what do you got for me?
All right, so what do you get? What do you got for me?
Sorry, Taker, we got nothing for you. I was announced for the show. I flew out from Austin.
Hold on a second. I know my check cash, but you're seriously not going to use me?
Sorry, Mark.
I'm the Undertaker.
Go sit and enjoy the show. Hang out with the guys.
I'm going to go talk to Cody Rhodes. You can't.
I think you just signed a lifetime deal, essentially. I'm the dead man. I'm already dead. Contract void.
I got a new life.
Then it was announced that Tegan Nox was going to be returning to NXT next week, and we see a shot of her hanging out with a fellow member of Team Kick, Dakota Kai.
They had a fancy. Why is it you and I have never had a fancy handshake, man? All these kids have fancy handshakes.
I'm too old for that.
Come on, let's do a fancy handshake.
No, I'm
Can
not
we
that
do
coordinated.
one?
No.
Come on, man. God, you're so lame. You're not fancy handshaking me because you're sponsored.
That's right.
Oh man. Anyways,
That's right.
let's continue on.
Next, Rhea Ripley taking on Aaliyah. Complete and utter squash. This bit was great when Rhea Ripley puts the reverse cloverleaf on Aaliyah and then picks her up off the ground. Starts spinning around with her.
That was amazing.
Slams her on her face.
That sucked. Picks her back up. Oh,
No, fits down and then just puts extra torque on the cloverleaf and Aaliyah taps. That was fantastic.
That looked like it hurt.
Yeah, man.
And whoo boy, that
was great.
That was great.
Anyways, Rhea grabs the mic and says, Shayna, I'm coming for you. Next, we were supposed to have Breezango versus Everrise. However,
Oh,
Terminator Jackson Riker comes out.
Oh, man.
Like-
he had murdered both the members of
And
Ever
he was
Rise.
dragging him out.
Yeah. Didn't he have one on his shoulder and he was dragging
Maybe.
something like that?
Yeah, he destroyed him.
Couple of sacks of garbage.
Yeah.
That Ever Rise.
At least in Jackson Riker's eyes, yes.
Well, yeah, dude. And who are we to argue with him?
No, man, he's scary looking.
He's super scary. Yeah, Breezango, they're expanding. Now they're just straight up strippers.
It seems to be, yes.
Because the police thing, it was like, okay, so they're still kind of the fashion police. They got the police thing. This week they were construction workers
Yeah.
as strippers. So
Yeah,
they're just strippers.
and then Fandango, especially, he had his little utility pouch in front of his front area, and then when he was in the ring grinding his hips, he took his hard hat and put it over his junk.
I appreciated Beth Phoenix being into construction work.
Oh yeah, and then Nigel and Morrow giving her some static about it.
I loved it because Nigel, he's always about. You always have one. It's funny when somebody like Beth Phoenix, who is presented as so respectable, and there's a little bit of lech there. A little bit of lech.
But it wasn't
way.
like super explicit.
No, it wasn't. It was just a little bit.
A little bit, and then and then Nigel and Morrow kind of piled
Needling
on.
her. Yeah,
piled
it's
on
great.
a little bit. It was funny, and then later on she referenced it. Says, "Yeah, I got to make amends to Edge."
Yes, yeah, that's right.
pretty
That was
funny.
funny. That was really good
That was
stuff.
good, clever.
She is so. They are such a fantastic team.
Yeah.
I agree. Morrow needs to dial it down just a little bit, man.
On the pop culture references, he needs to dial it down a
gotta
lot.
bring-
He's actually way better when he doesn't worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Because some of the references he makes, like what does that have to do with anything going on my screen right now?
Right.
You're just pulling stuff out.
Yeah. It's funny because for all the praise that he got back in the day, I notice a lot more backlash to that these days on Twitter, just from the random wrestling Twitter. But I kind of feel like he just needs to bring it down a little bit notch. But when he's interacting with the other two, they're terrific. They're really terrific.
When he's focusing on calling the action and not trying to be clever, he's really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just tries. I feel like he tries a bit too hard. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, instead of Breezango versus Everrise, we get Breezango versus Forgotten Sons. They beat up Everrise and just insert themselves into the match. And I believe Breezango has a win over. No, Breeze beat Jackson Riker.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember if Breezango beat Forgotten Sons previously. I don't remember. Anyways, they got history. Early on, Breezango actually goes for their finish, and then Cutler pulls Tyler Breeze off the apron. This spot was nasty. Fandango hits the top rope sunset flip powerbomb. I don't remember which member of Forgotten Sons, but there was some serious stank on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then pretty as soon as that happens, Jackson Riker takes Tyler Breeze and just tosses him into the ring post. And then Fandango hits a great-looking tope on Jackson Riker, kind of takes him out of the equation. But then Wesley Blake hits a high-flying move of his own. Fandango is kind of isolated in the ring. And then Forgotten Sons hit their finish for the win.
Mm-hmm. LK says, I'd rather someone tries too hard than someone who doesn't try at all like JR. Oh, JR.
Well, I think he's trying. He's just...
You have to appreciate what he brings to the table, which I'm still figuring out what that is. Anyways, after that, we had a Keith Lee promo. Him and Dijakovic.
Dijakovic had dueling promos.
Yeah, they're going to go at it again next week.
It's the main event, they said.
So they've got one draw between the two of them and one win each. So this will be...
Rubber match.
Yeah.
And Keith Lee was, I believe, it was him talking about how they were kind of made to fight each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it was a good promo.
Yeah.
Next, Boa versus Cameron Grimes. This was hilarious. They both get in the ring, and pretty much as soon as Cameron Grimes hit the ring, he points to the ramp. The ref and Boa look over there. Cameron Grimes is double stomp for the win. He gets out dodged.
That double stomp. They're always vicious, but this one just seemed even worse. Because it was I think he got a little bit of jaw or something.
Maybe,
I don't know what it was,
maybe.
but man, it looked bad.
But as soon as the pinfall is counted, Killian Dane comes running into the ring. Mm-hmm. Cameron Grimes gets out of there, and then he just proceeds to destroy Boa.
Yeah.
Vader bombs, brawling through the ring, dumps him on the announce table, and he tells commentary, "This is just the beginning." Mm-hmm. So he's a force of nature on NXT now. He's gonna start just beating everybody up.
He's the Anton Chigurh.
After that, Damian Priest's video package talking about why he attacked Pete Dunne.
Look at these cameras here. This is what I love about I'm trying to live my life in infamy.
With his pleather shirt.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I punched Pete Dunne in the face.
Remember, Triple H told Pete Dunne to make a name for himself. That's why I punched Pete Dunne.
That's why I punched him.
And I'm going to go party because that's what I do.
I'm going to go party and do
Name
some
will
archery
live
now.
infamy being famous party boy.
Yes. I'm going to be into the place where I need an invitation to.
Why does this make him a vampire already?
Yeah, I'm going to live forever.
I just don't like.
I wish to suck your blood.
But like he's just party guy.
Yeah, he's just party guy. What does live in infamy even mean? Does anybody?
Well, it's like
is
famous,
it
but
realistic?
you're famous for not necessarily the best reasons.
Right. Yeah. Like, Scott Peterson.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, murderers.
yeah.
Infamous.
Yeah.
But like also like sort of D-bags. Like Puck from the real world.
Wow. You're really pulling that one out.
Why is it that's the first name that came to mind?
I don't know.
Man, that is an obscure reference.
It is. Yeah. But like, is he just going to like party too hard in the streets of downtown Orlando and vomit in the street every night?
Anthony Weiner.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I just don't get it. Like, how is he going to live in infamy just by going out and partying?
Oh, I don't know, man. If he's like,
I mean, there's obviously some lines he could cross,
yeah.
but like
roofie guy.
Obviously,
he could be roofie guy.
That would be infamy.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do that on NXT TV.
Probably not.
So how?
Oh, we've got hidden footage, or we've got security footage from the club. Look at his hand going towards her drink.
I just don't get how he's supposed to be infamous by being a relatively safe party guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Like in terms of how you present it on TV. I just don't get it. I don't get it,
man.
I don't get
know.
it. Just
Archer
make him a
of
vampire.
infamy.
Just make him a
Jacob
vampire.
Wool. There you go. There's a present day.
Oh gosh. Jeez.
Oh, I crossed the line with Alex C. I'm sorry, Alex C.
In what respect?
Apparently his hand is going towards her drink.
Oh.
Oh,
I just
man.
don't understand it. I don't get it. And like as a catchphrase, okay, Archer of Infamy. That sounds cool, I guess.
No, it's all over the map.
Like he's aiming to be famous for bad reasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Not sure that's a great life goal to have, Damian
Yeah.
Priest. Just be a vampire.
He's like a Minecraft YouTuber.
I just don't get it.
I
want
to be on Drama Alert.
It's like they had an idea and there's like, okay, well, what's a good kind of like secondary nickname for you? Archer of Infamy. Sounds like it could sound neat, but ultimately mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
you would aim to be famous for
but that's a grand tradition in wrestling.
for less than great names. How is this going to play itself out? I like to go to the clubs. Mm-hmm. Well, that can go a lot of really bad paths, Damian Priest. We
Yeah.
can't really do any of that, nor would we want to, and nor should you want to. Like, no, I don't want to do any of that stuff. Then how is this going to play out?
That's good. Alex E says, yeah, he's a guy who had a heated gamer moment.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. After that, we had Roderick Strong versus Isaiah Swerve Scott.
This is great.
This is great.
This is another basically star-making performance from Swerve.
Oh, for sure.
His
Yeah.
match against Drew on 205 Live was awesome. Mm-hmm. This was awesome. They were throwing stiff shots this match, too. Those chops from Roderick Strong, he was putting every ounce of his body behind those chops. And Swerve, when he was kicking, when they were trading shots, those kicks Swerve was giving Roderick Strong were stiff, too.
What was the match? It was Roderick Strong versus, was it Oni Lorcan?
That we saw at the house show?
Yeah, where the chops were off the
Thunderous,
charts.
yeah.
Those were off the charts.
Yeah, Roderick Strong is a great chopper.
Yeah, oh yeah. Terrific.
But it did seem like they were just. It's a situation where maybe backstage like, okay, let's turn up a little bit because they were both throwing some stiff shots.
Oh yeah.
Isaiah Scott has the upper hand early, and then there's a spot where they're one of the many spots are just trading blows, and then Strong hits the backbreaker. Again, the power of Roderick Strong, that you know what he's going to try to do to you, and yet he still finds a way to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I mentioned, they're both throwing stiff shots this whole match, and Strong's chops is like every single one of them. He was stepping into them,
Crack.
turning his hips. At one point, like several points, Scott tries to make a comeback. He does eat a backbreaker, back to zero. Eventually, he does make a comeback after hitting a stiff right hand to Roderick Strong. And then the Undisputed Era comes down the ring. Swerve hits the German suplex, flatliner. That awesome kick he does. I don't know how to describe it when the person's kind of like on their knees and he does like a spinning half kick to the back of the head. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Only gets a 2 count. Scott goes to the top rope. Strong rolls to the apron. And then Scott jumps down, takes Roddy's legs out from under him, but Roddy's feet are resting atop the bottom rope, so he's kind of dangling off the bottom rope. Mm-hmm. And then Isaiah does a slingshot double stomp. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
There were several moments where Swerve was doing stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, how is he doing it? So he's on the floor. Undisputed Era kind of lightly distract Isaiah Scott. He gets back in the ring. Roddy hits 2 knees into Heartache, and then puts Scott in the stronghold for the win. Mm-hmm. Isaiah Scott has to tap out. Yeah. So Undisputed Era comes to the ring to celebrate with Roddy. Adam Cole grabs the mic, and he says, Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa came back to NXT to try to dethrone the Undisputed Era. Ain't going to happen.
Yep.
Ain't going to happen.
Draped in gold. Then Velveteen Dream shows up on the Tron. Then he's in the crow's nest.
Above commentary, yes.
Right.
Bathed in purple light and lasers.
There's this one great shot so they had a camera up in the crow's nest. Mm-hmm. So it was like during the majority of Velveteen Dream's promo on them, it was sort of over his shoulder, and you can see them in the background. Mm-hmm. Well, they introduced that shot where Dream's back was towards them, and so for a second, it looked like his giant floating head was like above them.
Yeah,
because it was in the frame of the camera.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was so well staged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, was it Power Rangers where there's that one kind of giant floating head character?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't know it either because I don't really watch Power Rangers.
Then he showed a picture of Roderick Strong without any front area. It was
first it was a picture of Roderick Strong with the North American title around his waist.
So Roddy posted this picture on Instagram.
Yeah, kind of like
Burt Reynolds.
Or Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's probably, who I think was basically just ripping off Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, yeah.
Because Burt Reynolds is in Playgirl, I believe. Was Shawn Michaels, was that also for Playgirl? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that magazine still around?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea. Anyways, so yeah, he's on the couch like this, sunglasses on, and nothing else on except for the North American title. And Velveteen Dream said, "Yeah, we're gonna find out in 2 weeks. I'm gonna get my rematch. I'm gonna take that title off you, and we're all gonna see
that you measure up short,
that you come up short." And then it shows the picture, and there's like a little stop emoji, like the little stop thing,
stop sign, not the stop sign, but the circle with the
line through
it, and it's over kind of like a pixelated, blurred out area.
But it's so small.
It's obviously a micro.
He just looks like he has a micro.
Yeah.
And it's just more off-putting and disturbing than comical in my view. It was like, oh, looks like he looks like a borderline eunuch. Isn't that where it's just completely gone?
I think so.
Chop it off. I
think so.
I don't know.
Anyway,
maybe that's just the balls. I don't know what it is.
So
he went too far manscaping.
Maybe that's going way too far. So, anyways,
they were pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
But they didn't have
says Dream over. He's gone.
They didn't have a whole lot of time to be upset because then Tommaso Ciampa's music hits. Mm-hmm. He comes out. He's got a crutch.
Yeah.
And then he gets a chair from the audience, and then Mosley's up into the ring. They all flee.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Hey, Goldie, Daddy's home."
Yeah.
Crowd pops.
Yeah.
So they've got also. I love this about the Undisputed Era. I like this being draped in gold. They got people coming at them from all angles. That's how they should
have booked Becky Lynch when she had both those titles, man.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yep. Next, Walter and Kushida video package, highlighting like the 2-week feud between them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go backstage. Kathy Kelly say, "Oh, Ciampa is about to walk through that door. Let's get an interview." And Angel Garza steps up and is like, "Why don't you interview me?"
Yeah.
Interview me. I'm right here.
Yeah.
And Kathy Kelly's like, "Yeah, maybe later." Oh, here's Ciampa, and she rushes ahead. She's about to ask Ciampa a question. Angel Garza steps in and is all like,
persistence.
It's like, what the heck?
Irritating.
You want to interview this guy?
Yeah.
When I'm right here?
Yeah.
Where's my interview?
Nobody's in. No, yeah, he's not. See, if he was at the 2K thing, I've been like, "Hey,
yes,
I'll interview you."
Totally.
Over here.
Yeah. And then he starts like insulting
I do this.
Ciampa in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Ciampa pushes him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Forearms
him, yes.
Yeah.
And then Kathy Kelly says, "What did he say to you?" He goes, "I don't know."
Oh, he didn't speak Spanish. The heck. It was a pretty good moment there.
It was good. So we're going to get Ciampa versus Angel Garza, I think, next week.
That's going to be good.
That'll be good.
Another L. Has Garza won anything?
I think he won his first round match in the Breakout Stars tournament.
Did he?
Maybe not. I thought he did. Yeah, did he beat Boa?
Maybe.
He beat Boa, so he's won one match.
Has Boa won any matches?
No. And really, Angel Garza should be undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Dakota Kai versus Bianca Baylor. This match was awesome, too.
Oh, this is terrific.
This was fantastic.
Bianca Baylor, whenever she gets a chance, which is every match, to show off her strength, it's always very impressive.
And Dakota Kai is she's actually really clever and creative with how she gets her offense off.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And just like all the roll-ups in this match were something as basic as a roll-up was interesting. Felt like there was purpose behind every single thing they did in this match.
Yeah.
There was this great spot where Belair picks up Dakota Kai for a face buster, and as soon as Belair gets that double chicken wing in on Dakota Kai, she realized she was in for something not very good. And then Bianca Baylor, I don't think I've seen her do this before, hits a standing shooting star press. Impressive.
It looked terrific.
Gets a 2 count.
She was very beside herself. She did not get that 3 count.
Yep. Bianca sets up for a power bomb. Dakota Kai escapes. Roll up, gets a 2. Tries a crucifix pin, gets 2. There's several instances where there's back and forth roll ups. It was great. But then eventually Belair muscles up Dakota Kai for her finish, that kind of burning hammer type move to get the win. Then she grabs the mic, says if someone wants to get to Shayna, they got to go through her.
Yep. She said, because she had heard Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, obviously.
She was like, girl. Yeah, it was good stuff. After that, we had a Chris Dijak promo. Top notch. Dominic Dijakovic. Yeah.
Yes, and he says he knows Keith Lee's limits. I thought Keith Lee was limitless.
He is now claiming that there are limits.
There are, in fact, limits.
Yeah.
That's quite the heel move there to completely undercut someone's gimmick like that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Keith Lee's going to get that W, man.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out if he has limits or not, dude.
Yep.
After that, we had another Finn Balor video package. Still
They
nowhere to be
They had
found.
enough footage to do 2 distinct different video packages for Finn Balor,
This
yet
one
he
was
made no
focusing
appearance.
on the draft, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, they made it that he was drafted 5th overall or 5th round or top 5 or something like that. What a huge deal that was.
All that great footage of him coming up to main roster, parting the seas of superstars because he's like the Jesus guy. Oh, man, it's terrific. That was a great moment.
NXT. After that, Pete Dunne promo to respond to Damian Priest. Yeah, I don't
He
think
was working out. He's gonna do this. How's he gonna shoot arrows with his fingers broken?
Yeah, that was the line.
I think you're misunderstanding his actual gimmick there, Pete Dunne. Although we don't know it either, so who knows? Maybe
I'm
he's
still trying to make sense of it. Just like I said, just make him a vampire, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's all I really want.
could be.
Just make him a vampire. Next, Leo Rush is celebrating his title win backstage. You know who's hanging out in the background there?
Oh, that could be fun. Yeah, Malcolm Bivens, but
Formerly known as
Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway.
Any number of other names as well.
Yeah.
On his Twitter, anyways.
Lucha Van Ross. That one was my
Lucha Vandross was the
That
best
was my
one.
favorite.
That's
Yeah,
the best one.
That was great.
Did he ever find his CD player?
I don't believe
Again,
so.
I don't watch Being the Elite, so I don't know what's going on here.
Different programming.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's content exclusive to Stokely's Twitter.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. After that, we had Kushida versus Walter in the main event.
Yep. Fun match.
Yeah, this was just a terrific match. Even though Walter was apparently just melting, skin just flying off everywhere.
Seemed to be the case.
It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of a bit much, but he works a stiff style, so it's not surprising that he's going to take some lumps as well as dish him out. Early on, though, Kushida was out wrestling Walter. Like he had him in a headlock or a chin lock, and Walter was trying to rotate out, and Kushida would just roll with him. Sort of like we've seen Johnny Gargano do from time to time. And the end of it, Kushida does that thing where you're just laying on top of someone's back and spin around.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed to be. I feel like that's supposed to be some ultimate insult in the world of wrestling.
I think it's supposed to be, yeah.
Like I have complete control of your back. I could have done anything I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I said I got off, and then he kind of does a playful little slap to Walter's head.
Yeah.
Walter,
Not happy about
understandably
that.
not happy about that.
We forgot to mention that they had I forget exactly where in the show was.
Oh yeah, when Walter was warming up backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
He was doing he
was doing some thrusts.
He was doing some dry humping to
Well,
the
he was
ground.
doing like some thing that he would start up, go down, and do essentially like in yoga's Cobra.
Yeah.
Where you arch your back and so you
Yeah.
pull your head up, but he was doing it in thrusting
Yeah,
motion.
this is how you do it.
Yeah.
This is how you do a sex.
And then he and Alexander Wolf were doing some grappling practices where they're doing this stuff that we've seen people do
It's
before.
all good stuff.
It was great. And so I believe Kushida avoids some shot from Walter and then just slaps Walter in the face for realsies. Again, upsets Walter. Walter charges at Kushida. Kushida pulls down bottom rope. Walter gets sent ringside. We go to commercial. Come back, and I think after this commercial breaks, when they said, "Oh, we're going to follow this match till it ends."
Yeah.
No matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't matter how long it
overrun.
is. They're getting overrun today.
This bit was a little scary. Kushida goes from some sort of springboard move and seems to slip off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was totally work, right?
I don't know.
Because immediately Walter followed up with a giant boot, and that played heavily into the story.
I know. I just kind of wonder if he was supposed to respond to that move with a boot anyways.
It could be. That could be.
And they just they're both
and went with it.
Seasoned pros, so
yeah.
it's kind of improvised in the ring.
If Kushida is tasked with making a slip up on the rope look really good and accidental, I think he could do it.
Oh, I believe
so
he
it
can
could be
too.
either way.
It could be either way. And then after that, Walter's going for a powerbomb. Kushida reverses into a DDT. Tries to go for a sunset flip powerbomb off the apron. Walter puts the brakes to that, holding on to the rope. Knocks Kushida off, stomps him on his face, stands on it for a little bit.
Oof.
Then they both battle on the apron. Walter charges towards Kushida. Kushida moves, runs into the ring post. Walter does. And then Kushida follows with a DDT off the apron to the floor. Kushida tries to lock in the hoverboard lock, kind of gets it, but Walter powers out. Shortly thereafter, Walter locks in a sleeper. Kushida gets to the ropes. Kushida tries to roll up Walter. Walter kicks right out, right into a sleeper. We've seen Drew Gulick do this before with his Dragon Sleeper. Kushida escapes right into a cross arm breaker attempt. Walter tries to power Kushida up. Instead, Kushida rolls him up. Walter kicks out. That was a really fun sequence. This part was great, where Walter tossed Kushida halfway across the ring with a German suplex.
Yeah.
And did this pump handle type slam thing I didn't see him do before. He gets a 2 count. And then Walter goes to the top rope like he's going to go for a splash. Kushida kicks him onto the top turnbuckle. They brawl up there for a little bit. Kushida locks in hoverboard lock. Kind of does like a Spanish fly with him off the top. We've seen him do this in New Japan several times. With hoverboard lock still engaged. And then Walter has to struggle to get to the ropes to break the hold. And the rest of the match, he's selling arm. Kushida tries for another hoverboard lock. Walter pushes him off and hits this great shotgun drop kick. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Walter hits a powerbomb. Shocking. Kushida kicks out.
Yeah.
But then Walter wins with essentially a Rainmaker.
Yeah.
I like that Walter can employ anything to win a match.
I know.
He doesn't really
seems
have
to be one of the few guys that they allow to do that.
I know. He doesn't have a finish.
Yeah. Powerbomb, clothesline, in this case, Rainmaker.
Yeah. He won with I think, didn't he beat Pete Dunne with a splash?
Did he?
I thought that's how he finished that match. Was just
That
a top
could
rope
be.
splash.
That could be. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Anyways, fun episode of NXT.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Just felt like AEW was maybe a bit more fun.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, to each their own. Kind of agree, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It all depends on what you want out of your wrestling.
Exactly.
It all depends on what you want.
Exactly.
You know, and like you said, there's something for everybody.
There's something for everybody.
Look, if you want to watch something that looks like it's from 1986 and today, you got NWA Power. If you want to watch something that might be on the verge of collapse, you watch Impact. If you want to watch, if you want something to put you to sleep, you watch Raw.
Yeah. It's there's so much wrestling. There's so much for everybody. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Let's celebrate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right. Let's confirm Walter did beat Peter Dunne with Splash. Let's answer some questions. Matt Field. He asked us early on, what do you mean by frames? What's the difference? I'm guessing it's reference to frame rate. You can photograph and broadcast action at various frame rates. Conventional video here in the United States historically has been 29.97 frames per second.
So probably the most common usage of the idea of frame rate can be found in the gaming world.
Yes.
If you were to YouTube the difference between 24 frames a second, or 30 frames a second and 60 frames. Honestly, you could probably YouTube the idea of 24 versus 30 versus 60. 24 is typically what you'd find in motion pictures.
Yes.
30 is typically what you'd find in video, and 60 is
kind of the standard for gaming.
Yeah.
It has to do with motion blur.
Yeah.
The higher the frame rate, the crisper the motion is, essentially. And if that's kind of like on NXT, I could tell that it's a higher frame rate because the motion seems really crisp. And I compare it to soap opera because traditionally soap operas have been filmed while at 30 frames a second, just a different approach to photography, and just it looks crisper than pretty much any other TV broadcast because it's shot live, usually live to tape.
So let's see here. There is this.
Was that about the draft? I read that earlier.
Alex Rodriguez, Michael Che, and Colin
I didn't read
Jost
that.
among celebrities set for
Alex Rodriguez. That's great.
Set to appear at the 2-night draft.
Poke. I like the idea of Cody and Kenny seeing a picture of Larson and saying, "Whoa, let's sponsor this dude." Then they see Steve and they're like, "Oh, God, it's a package deal." No, just no. Somehow I'm the professional-looking one between the two of us.
Apparently.
Twisted Mental, with the Inner Circle being announced, All Elite Wrestling now has more factions than WWE main roster. No, WWE has... oh, wait, no, you're right. I think, because I guess you consider Dark Order a faction, because there's a bunch of guys.
Is that a faction, or is that just a tag team with a bunch of...
It was the Local Enhancement Talent Mass.
Yeah.
I guess for the sake of kayfabe, you would assume that it's all the same crew of guys.
Yeah, but none of the... I mean, I can say GIMP, right? Like, in terms of the sexual thing, is that okay to say?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's okay to say anymore.
Well, you did already, so.
I mean, what's a leather-clad sex slave?
I guess you just say all those words now.
Okay, I'm just going to say GIMP. If I get canceled, so be it.
All right. Okay.
Hashtag cancel Steve.
Okay.
No, none of those GIMPs are going to win a match against anybody.
No, I know. I know, but I'm just counting the factions in All Elite. There's Inner Circle. There's the Elite. Am I missing something? Is Best Friends, now that Orange Cassidy's part of it, now that's a faction. That's a 3-man crew.
Mm-hmm.
SCU, that's a faction.
Yeah, but hold on a second. No. A faction needs a tag team and a singles. When's the last time Scorpio Sky, and I could be completely wrong about this, is he ever in contention for singles gold?
He was, I think, wrestling in the LA area, yeah.
Right, no, outside of AEW though.
Well, I mean, last week he said he's not going to wrestle in the tag team tournament. And I guess if he's going to be involved, that means he's undertaking singles pursuits.
Is he just their manager now?
I hope not, because he's great.
Is he just going to be like their Barack Obama, like
impersonator?
He's just going to do the impersonation? Yeah,
could be. I don't know. See, but I don't necessarily like the Freebirds. They were a faction. They were a 3-man group, and they were just exclusively a tag team.
The thing is, man, you get in some gray area here. You definitely, it's definitely
the point,
gray area.
The point of the question is there's more teams larger than 2 in All Elite Wrestling than the WWE main roster. I think that's the general point.
So, like, for example, I think a faction has to be, it doesn't have to be 4 at this point.
No.
To be a real faction.
No, I don't think so.
You need a heavyweight, a guy who can be either mid-card or cruiserweight, and then you got
I think any
tag
team of 3 or more, in my mind, is a faction.
Yeah, I guess the NWO is 3 people originally.
Yep. Twist and Mental. Again, No Mercy makers possibly doing AEW game. That would be amazing.
Who? What?
Said No Mercy makers possibly doing AEW game. That would be amazing. If the THQ Aki team is still around. THQ's out of business. So
yeah.
I don't know about Aki.
I mean, in theory, that's great, but like, what have they done lately?
Well, I mean, if the game plays like the N64 wrestling games, I don't care.
Yeah, but would they actually put out something that feels like a retro game?
Yeah. Would AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. I mean, you seem very certain about this.
Well, I don't see why they wouldn't, just based on the fact that it's based on an engine from the 90s. I think if they think the engine's great and they can update it with new graphics, some customization, something cool, I mean, and just
if they did it, that'd be cool. I just think it's kind of a stretch to think they are going to do that.
I don't know if they are. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Yeah. Joshua Martinez, amazing to see Swerve and Darby Allin both come from Defy in the Pacific Northwest, making names for themselves on national TV.
Heck yeah, man!
That's great.
It's
great.
Project CMR says THQ is back. THQ Nordic.
Oh, okay.
All right, I want to get this info here, man.
Anything look interesting there?
Let's see here. News. Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right.
I got nothing.
Fair enough. Here, let me go to the Patreon over here.
Yeah, that'd be terrific if they did that. I mean, I know there are retro-style games releases all the time. I understand that. I'm just saying for AEW, I don't know. I don't know what they'd want to do. That'd be cool, though. A lot of people love No Mercy.
Yep.
Greg Morris says, based on your frame rates talk, the new Will Smith movie was shot at 120 frames.
Yeah.
No theaters are actually playing it in that format.
No, I don't think. Well, sort of like when Peter Jackson shot The Hobbit at 48.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Because you like the crisper action, especially for 3D.
Yeah.
And then people went and saw it and said, this is horrible.
Yeah, it looked terrible. It looks awful. Yeah.
Especially when you go to movies expecting a certain frame rate, it's not that. It's a very strange
It looks
sensation.
cheap.
Yeah, it does
makes it look cheap.
It does look cheap when the action is too crisp. Outside of sports, it makes the production look cheap, and that's kind of what I'm mentioning about NXT. Just based on the presentation, how I'm receiving it, it makes the show look cheap.
Sean Lindsay says THQ Nordic is just a Nordic game. It's just Nordic Games who bought the THQ name.
Got it. Big Strong Boy, with what unfolded tonight, could we be getting Undisputed Era versus Dream, Balor, and Ciampa at War Games? Who could be the fourth man? Also, whose hog would you like Dream to expose next?
I don't. He needs to stop doing that. It's very uncomfortable. Weird micro Photoshop jobs. Like, who the heck is sitting there? Like, who is tasked with that? Isn't that an HR thing? Well, I guess not.
So it's the entirety of the Undisputed Era taking on Dream, Balor, Ciampa, and whom else? Matt Riddle.
Yeah, where was Matt Riddle this week? Oh. Cold.
But then you got all of the faces, save for probably Dream. He's going after that North American title, who are all in play for the NXT title, and that could lead to their downfall.
Yeah, you would need a tag team. Here's the thing: you would need somebody going after the North American title, a tag team.
Well, that's
we don't know
a
who's
winner
going
take
to
all
be.
situation.
Even if it's not, like traditionally, last time you had War Raiders. Before that, you had it wasn't War Raiders. AOP.
Alex Foster asks, is it bad? I think Dexter Lumis would be perfect for the 24/7 title. I would love for him to do more, but I think he would make that belt and everyone involved even more hilarious.
No, he's not a comedy character. He's a murderer.
Man. Yeah, he's a very serious murderer type.
Yeah.
Demas Perez, main event, had an awesome tagline. Who will lose their O? Because they're both undefeated. What other taglines can you think of? Mine is two wrestlers with losing streak. Only one will get their one. I don't know. I can't really talk. I mean, like,
two wrestlers with losing streaks. Yeah, that's a good one. Only one will get their one. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm not that
I'm
clever.
not very clever, Demas.
I'm not either.
I'm sorry.
Thomas Dunnigan, with Finn being on NXT for the time being, do you think Triple H will want to keep his guys on NXT for as long as he can? And if so, will we be seeing Kevin Owens moving to NXT for full-time next? I think if that were going to happen, they would have done it in conjunction with the Shane storyline. Now that Shane's fired, I'd be a hard time believing that Kevin is just going to be like, all right, I'm going to NXT now.
I mean, it kind of feels like, I was kind of thinking about this too. It kind of feels like, I don't know, they're sort of treading the line of NXT being a proper third brand and not. You know, if you want to do it, then do it proper. Take it around, make it a touring show. You know, the same level of arenas that you got for friggin' AEW. And then, you know, keep NXT developmental at Full Sail. Continue to do that for the network. And then put NXT on an arena house show thing. Or an arena show thing. You know, and then add it to the draft. But keep Triple H in charge of it. If you want it to compete.
Yeah. James Fletcher, most overused and underused wrestlers in WWE, and why is overused Shane McMahon? Well, I don't think he's going to be anymore. I think he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to go on.
Overused. I kind of wonder if Seth wrestles too much on TV. I understand he's a workhorse. That's his character. But when he has a pay-per-view match, it doesn't really feel special. That could just be the nature of how WWE handles their pay-per-views. So.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I think if anybody could be considered overused, it might be
underused
Seth.
is Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali.
100%, yeah. And Cedric Alexander now.
Yes. Liam Joyce, if you could book a cross-brand show between AEW and NXT, what would the best card be? Maybe we should do that for a charity stream. AEW versus NXT.
Yeah, why don't we do that? But we book it though.
Okay.
We have to re-gimmick people.
You want to re-gimmick people?
Yeah.
I guess we can to a degree.
Yeah.
Can't really do much to make Undisputed Era better.
Au contraire. Yeah, what we have to do is delete a lot of people because we need to shore up a lot of space, And we've got 20 more. We have 3 weeks to do it.
Well, we'll do it let's just do it in the next game. We'll do it all with the new game.
Do it all with a new game.
I imagine in the span of a week, a bunch of AEW people are going to be made.
Okay.
And then we'll go and just spend a day and a half to changing stuff.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it all in the new game.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Because not only is it a charity stream with this gimmick, it's also us showing off the new game.
Yeah, exactly.
Because all that.
We will not have any early footage of the game.
No. Philly's number one, Greg Morris. If one of you committed a crime, would you turn the other in to the authorities?
No, I would not turn you in.
Depends on the nature of the violation.
What violation would you?
Like if I knew you murdered somebody?
Really?
Yeah.
Would it depend on who it is?
I don't think it would. If I know you cold-blooded murdered somebody, you deserve to go to the slammer.
But it wouldn't depend on who it. Like, what if it was somebody that was really like crappy?
Murder is murder, man.
What kind of man? You're kind of a FPOS, aren't you? I would just be like, oh, that's his business. My name's Bennett. How are you gonna go to the police and turn me in, dude?
Because you're a murderer.
That's terrible.
But think about it. It could be a great podcast. Two best friends. One murders somebody. The other one spinelessly turns them in.
Yeah. You're like, how do you pronounce that dude's name? The guy who just snitched on everybody? 69699.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. It's making up stuff.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Steve Zodiac.
Steve Zodiac killer. And he's in a gang. Yeah. Man, I'm kind of shocked.
I would hope if I killed somebody in cold blood, you would turn me in.
Depends on who it is. If you had said, Steve, I got to confess to you. Number one, if somebody says, I got to confess to you, aren't you protected by like some sort of privilege?
No, you're not a lawyer.
Or a priest?
Neither am I.
A priest?
I'm not a man of God either.
All right. If you were to come up to me and say, Steve, I got to get this off my chest. I killed a homeless guy the other day. I probably wouldn't turn you in.
Really?
Yeah, probably not.
What
business is mine? On top of that, you confessed to me. That'd be, man, I would not be able to live with myself if I turned you in. That'd be terrible.
How would you be able to live yourself if you didn't turn me in? If I just cold-bloodedly killed a homeless person?
It's not my business.
Oh, my gosh.
I'd say don't do it again, please, because then you put me in an awkward spot. Fool me once, shame on me.
But here's the thing. If I tell you that and you don't turn yourself in the authorities, you're committing a crime yourself.
Well, I have to live with that. I have to figure,
All right.
I just have to live with that.
All right.
I'll just deny that you told me.
And I'll be like, no, I told him everything. I told him exactly where the
How are you going to believe him? He kills people.
I'm the
They're
only
not going to believe you.
I'm the only one telling the truth in this situation.
You're like, I'm shocked. He did what? He said he told you. Thought he was joking. Thought he meant he was in GTA, dude. Sorry, my name's Bennett.
And then they watch our podcast where I do it live on air in front of everybody, and like, no, he told you on
oh, if that's
on
the
Overrun.
Case, if that's the case, I'll be like, no, that's all performance art. It's a joke. Oh man, nah, man, I would not. Oh no, I wouldn't turn you in.
Oh, I totally
depends on what it is though. If you're like, yeah, I hid out at elementary school and I killed a child, then I'd be like, oh, dude, I'm turning you in. I'm not messing with that. Or a dog. I killed a dog. But then I would tell them that I would tell the cops that you killed like a person, a child.
But a homeless person, not a huge deal in your mind.
Oh man. I mean, if you were just like, I wanted to see what it was like.
That's all the more reason to do it.
So bad.
Because what kind of?
Why would you have done that? Don't put me in that situation.
Because if that happens, and it's like I want to see what it was like, and I liked it. Then what do you think's going to happen?
Oh man,
murder spree, and that's going to be on your conscience.
Oh,
turn me in.
Yeah, I would ask you, did you like it?
Well, if I'm telling you, going as far to tell you if I'd kill somebody, then I'd probably tell you how I felt about it.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm saying you would have to turn me in. If you didn't turn me in, I'd be disappointed in you.
I don't care what you'd be in me because you're a murderer. You have no ground to stand on.
Then you should turn me in and put me in the criminal justice system and make sure I see the punishment that I deserve for the murder spree I went on.
We'll just end on this. Daniel here has it right. Larson's a rat. Steve's a ride or die. All right? You with me, you're with me for life. You're a piece of crap.
I don't want to be with a murderer.
Well, you got to find a new job then, buddy boy. But don't
Well,
turn
I'm going
me
to
in
have
because
to.
You're just a rat.
If
because
you're a
then
murderer,
you're going to put that on your resume. They're going to say, okay, let's take a look at your resume. Oh, wow, you built this podcast thing here with
a murderer.
Oh, my God. You turned this guy in? We don't hire rats.
Well,
good luck working at McDonald's.
I don't want to work with a murderer.
Well, going in rat is correct.
I guess so.
Absolutely. What a POS you are.
You know you can avoid that? Don't kill anybody.
Yeah, I agree. Ofaka Tornado says, hey, guys. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're going to do overrun in a bit, but I'm going to eat first.
Yeah, I got a
super
sandwich.
Hungry.
Steve didn't steal my sandwich.
I've got a hunger for murder, but now I can't tell anybody because I'm going to get turned in.
Well, you can't tell me.
Yeah. I can tell. I bet I tell Hilton. Hilton ain't going to turn me in.
He probably doesn't care.
He'll go in one ear, out the other.
He'll forget about it.
Oh, dude, you did. I did too. That fool's probably killed people.
Oh, God.
Anyways, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.